In a world where everyone's wearing pashminas and rainbow pandas walk among us, one man tries to answer 11 questions for the My First Time tag, Raver Edition.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of vlogs. I'm pretty sure these are the base vlogs.
What's up? What's up? What's up? These are the base vlogs where we talk about music festivals with a little bit of culture and comedy mixed in. So, if any of that interests you, like and subscribe. So, if you haven't heard about it, the My First Time Challenge Raver Edition is this cool idea that Bebe, Howell and Becca Grace came up with. Basically, what they did was they came up with 11 questions that they want people to answer, whether that be on YouTube or on Instagram, just so that people can learn more about other people in the scene, different creators, and just different awesome ravers. So, I'll be listing the questions in the description, so if you want to participate, definitely do, even if you don't get tagged. But I'm going to be challenging Lex Luminous and Rave Raider. You will see their links in the description. Hopefully they do it, and hopefully you do too. If you do it, try to make sure to use the hashtag so that your content will be easier to find for people looking around for it. Let's get it going. Question 1 was, what was the first show you attended? I could talk about like rap shows and stuff like that, but I want to talk about the first EDM show I attended, which would have been Flostradamus and Slushy. Now, I love that it was Flostradamus and Slushy, because looking back on that, I feel like that really defines what kind of a person, what kind of a raver I am now, because all my friends are super into like hardcore dubstep, stuff like that, and I am like the one who's always like, oh, how about we go to see Gamera this weekend? And they're like, probably not. Sved and Death is also playing this weekend. And I'm like, so that's a no on Gamera. Okay. Alright. Sved's cool. But question 2 is going to be, what was your first festival? My first festival. I'd have to say, I'll be honest about my first festival. It was the Gathering of the Juggalos. This is the most recent year, Charm. Gathering of the Juggalos 2014. Would have been my first music festival. The Gathering of the Juggalos is a crazy, crazy event. It's wild and lawless. It's crazier. There's no rules. There's no rules at the Gathering of the Juggalos. It would blow your mind, some of the stuff that goes down there. And it's a lot of fun. Great people. Certainly not as chill as ravers are, but it's a good time. So if you're into ICP or any of the rap artists that are there, definitely check that out. Down with the clown till I'm dead in the ground. Whoop whoop. Question 3. Who was the first group of people that you raved with? I am very proud to say that the first group of people I raved with are people I still rave with today. And that is going to be, respectively, got your Garden Wook, a.k.a. April. Got your Wook Lord, a.k.a. James. Got your Wook Jesus, a.k.a. Matt. And then you got your Chase. He doesn't have a Wook name because he doesn't get out with us as much anymore because he has like 1,000 kids. But he's still super cool. He's a chef. He made my food the other day. Next up is the first person I met at a rave. For this question, I had to really think about it. I would probably say that the first person I met at a rave who I still keep in contact with would have to be Bieber. We got this kid that we call Justin Bieber. I met him at the Gathering of the Juggalos in 2018. We just got to be really good buddies. He told me like some super deep stories about his personal life. We call him Bieber just because he's really small. And we just really got to be good buds. And we pretty much kicked it. He kicked it with me and my friends at all the shows, all through the 4-day event. And then 2019, we all decided we were going to camp together. I met a few more of his friends, and he met a few more of my friends, and he's good people. All right, next question. Next question, first rave outfit. My first rave outfits were pretty basic. I definitely went through a Chad stage that I'm proud to say I worked through. When I went to the gathering of the Juggalos, I wore a lot of like white tees and white tank tops. That was pretty norm, kind of an Eminem-y look, kind of a wannabe Eminem look. So that was pretty normal for the gathering. Then when I went to Slushy and Excision, I did this. If you can't see it, that's me wearing this super cool Route 21 shirt that I still have. I don't even care. Judge it if you want to. I like that shirt. Next one is, what was your first wardrobe malfunction? I don't personally have a wardrobe malfunction story, but I do have one that one of my friends went through. When I went to a music festival in 2018, me and one of my buds, we forgot to bring ponchos or any sort of rain gear. So we ended up having to improvise when it started raining and put some garbage bags on so we could still enjoy the sets. It actually worked out great, worked out just as good as a poncho probably would have. And we ended up having a great time. Well, the problem was we got pretty messed up, and my buddy, he got way more messed up than I did. And so I kind of took it upon myself to watch out for him a little bit. And while I was watching out for him, I realized that it stopped raining, so I took my garbage bag off. The only thing was, I guess I never told him to take his garbage bag off, so a little bit later, somebody who was probably way more sober than both of us came up to him and was like, yo, it's pretty hot. And he's like, yeah, it is pretty hot, dude, what's up? And he's like, yeah, don't you think you'd feel comfortable without that garbage bag? And he's like, yeah, but the rain. And he's like, well, it hasn't been raining for about 4 hours, so you'll probably be good for the rest of the day, I think. So then he took the garbage bag off. So that's the closest thing I have to a wardrobe malfunction. Next up, we got first kandi trade and first light show. Both of these would have occurred at the gathering. The only really background I want to give is, that's the funny thing, because as far as the gathering is concerned, it was an interesting experience for me, because just like any festival, you definitely see kandi kids. You definitely see wooks. But you see like 4 or 5, because it's more of a rap festival. So there's like less than 10 apiece of those pretty like normal groups of people. And it was crazy because now all of those people are my best friends. All of those people are people I see like on an almost weekly basis. But there, I thought there was like literally 8 kandi kids in the world. Like, I thought they just traveled from festival to festival, and like that specific look was just that one person. I thought that Pashmina's, I thought that was just that one guy who I saw wearing one. Like, I thought that was just him. That was like me 5 years ago. So that's kind of crazy. That's where I did my first kandi trade and saw my first light show. And it's crazy now, because going back on that, I feel like I'm that wook to other people at the gathering, because the gathering's been going on, the gathering of the Juggalos has been going on for 20 plus years, and now I'm the one wook that they know, or the one kandi kid that they know, and I think that's pretty cool. Full circle. The next question was really weird for me. It was, what was the first show you ever cried at? I was going through memories, and I was beginning to realize something kind of surprising. I cry a lot. Like, when I was going through what was the first show I cried at, I wasn't sure if I wanted to pick the first story because I cried about a girl. And then I wasn't sure if I wanted to pick the second story because I cried because like the events that were happening around me. And then I wasn't sure if I wanted to pick the third story because I cried because of a song. And then I realized I cry at like every set, bro. Like, like I probably should Probably should work on getting out of my feels every now and then, because I cry a lot. But yeah, first set I ever cried at was pretty much the first set I attended. I brought a girl who I had just decided to buy her ticket because we dated back in high school, and it didn't go the way that I wanted it to. It like sort of did, but sort of didn't. So I cried. And then later in that same festival, we had an amazing experience because we got VIP, so we got to go on stage. And I was up there with my best friends, and I cried. And then the next year that we attended that same festival, they played the song Homies, which is about friendship. And I was there with one of my best friends from all time, April. And I went and found her, and I cried. And then I saw Elenium for the first time, and I cried. And then I went to a show with one of my buddies right after we got out of jail, and I cried. Cry a lot. And the last question is, when did you first really fall in love with rave culture? And I'd actually say that it was a combination of two things. It was a combination of when I went to my first gathering of the Juggalos and saw all the people in their face paint, and when I saw the EDC documentary. I haven't personally been to EDC. Both the face painting and seeing all the crazy costumes that they have at EDC really opened up my eyes to this incredible world where everyone just acts like themselves and does everything that they really want to do throughout their life. You know, where everyone feels so open and honest about who they are and how they want to dress and who they want to be. Because I guess for me, I've always been a little bit socially awkward. I've always been kind of weird. I've always been kind of goofy. And throughout life, I've tried to find as many ways to hide those things as possible, hide those traits as possible, hide the fact that I'm loud, hide the fact that I'm silly, hide the fact that I have a squeaky voice. And now that I have been introduced to rave culture, I realize that those things that make me different aren't necessarily bad, they're just different. And I just love the atmosphere of acceptance that you see at raves. And I mean, obviously, I'm aware that the Gathering of the Juggalos isn't a rave, but it definitely gives some of that same vibe that I get at raves. Definitely some of that be who you want to be and let your personality shine. And I think that's awesome. That's the video. Like and subscribe or whatever.